My name is Nancy. I work for a game developer creating games for smartphones. They are my husband, Steve, and my mother-in-law. I'm going to tell you what happened to me with these two. My husband, Steve, works in a bar. His shifts are different from month to month. I work weekdays during regular hours, so our daily routines were very different. A while ago, I started to get unhappy about our different working hours, but I still wanted to live together as a couple. So I did my best for my husband, like preparing his food in the morning and on rare occasions when we were off on the same day, suggesting we go out somewhere together. Despite my efforts, he didn't seem to be interested. While this was going on, the COVID-19 pandemic started, and because of this, the bar Steve worked at was forced to shut down indefinitely, so his wages halved. Despite this, I had enough income, and during the lockdown, more people took to playing games on their phones, so I was very busy. Naturally, I wasn't worried about our financial situation so much. No matter how many times I explained this to my husband, he didn't stop worrying about his wages going down. Eventually, he did something unbelievable.
Nancy, I've made up my mind.
What about?
We're gonna move out of our home and go live at my mom's.
What?
Mom thinks it's a great idea too. I was worried about my wages going down, but now we won't have to pay rent anymore, so we'll be fine.
Just hold on a second. Are you saying that we're going to live with your mom?
Yep.
What do you mean, yep? We agreed we would never live with your mom before we got married, remember?
I do.
Then how come you're saying things like this?
Circumstances have changed, right? We need to save money.
How many times do I have to tell you this? I earn enough. You don't have to worry about it.
Your wages on its own won't do, though, will it?
Think clearly.
Our monthly income after tax are more than enough for both of us to live on. Our rent is only $700 a month. Even after paying utility bills, we have more than enough to live on. Just what is it that you don't get here? We even have some money left to put into our savings account. So why on earth do we need to move in with your mother?
My mom will do all the housework. That means I don't have to do the housework that I have to do here.
So you want to move back in with your mom for yourself?
It's your fault too, you know. If you did all the housework, I wouldn't be thinking like this. My mom says housework is a woman's job.
Can't you see that's why I made you promise that we would not live with your mother? Your mom is a stay-at-home mom, unlike me who works all the hours God sends. She does house chores while people like me are working, but I have a job like you, and I do the house chores in my spare time when I'm not working. So there's no difference between you and I. It's only natural for a working couple to share the housework. Got it?
No!
What the?
I just don't want to do it anymore.
Stop being a baby.
Whatever.
It's not even funny when a grown man talks like a sulky teenager. I will never live with your mother. You got it?
I knew you would say that. So I've already told our landlord we're moving out and to cancel the lease.
What?
We have to move out of our apartment at the end of this month.
Why did you do that without talking to me first?
Unless you want to be homeless, you better come and live with me and Mom.
What the f?
I called our landlord and tried to persuade him to let us stay, but he had listed our apartment as vacant in a housing search engine and had already found a new occupant. I was too late. That day, after work, I was going to have it out with my husband, but to my surprise, my mother-in-law was at our apartment.
Nancy, do you really not want to live with me that much?
Steve promised me before we got married that we would live on our own, didn't we, Steve?
I don't remember.
What a jerk!
On top of that, I heard you're making Steve do a lot more housework. It's just that he's staying home a lot more than I am lately, so he wants to work, but he can't. Can you not see how stressed he is about the situation? You are so cold. When we're living together, I will make it my mission to straighten up your twisted, bitter mind.
I could kill the man who was hiding his face with a massive grin behind his mommy. But as I had no place to stay, I had no choice but to move in with my husband and his precious mommy. From day one, my mother-in-law was relentless.
You have to get up at 6 and clean the hallway with a wet towel. Then cook breakfast and lunch for me and Steve, wash the dishes, and sweep around the front door. After finishing, you can then get to work. Come home straight away after work and don't stop off anywhere. We need to eat dinner by 7 at the latest, otherwise it's not very good for our health. So you need to be back here in time, okay? After that, you need to clean the bathtub and prepare the bath. And of course, you can't use the bathwater unless I allow you to. While Steve and I take our baths, put away the laundry, okay?
None of what you said was okay. Are you trying to kill me?
I used to do all that by myself when I was younger.
It's because you were a stay-at-home mother. If you want me to do all the things you just said, I will split the chores with my husband.
Hey, don't drag me into this!
You should be ashamed that you're trying to make your husband do a woman's job.
I'm not ashamed of anything. Your sexist attitude is a lot more shameful than anything else. How old are you? When were you born? I tried to make them see sense, but neither my mother-in-law or Steve did any chores around the house. It would be worse if I did all the house chores I had been ordered to do. So I did the bare minimum of housework, and it was for me and me only. As soon as they both realized what was going on, they started to bully me. Sometimes they ate a meal which I had prepared for the 3 of us between themselves. Other times, they used up all the hot water before I had a bath. They started to do little things like this. A husband who doesn't work and just lazes about in the house. A mother-in-law who doesn't work even after losing her husband. The only time she gets up from the sofa is to do things for her precious little boy. Ugh, should I get a divorce? People have talked about how the pandemic and subsequent lockdown increased the number of divorces. This is how it happens, I guess. As I didn't want to stay at home, I worked long hours and worked hard. But even that was taken away from me. Huh? Working from home? Not allowed to come into our office? As a part of the government's lockdown policy, people like me were banned from coming into our office. I didn't have anywhere to escape. My mother-in-law, whose brain is still in the 19th century, didn't understand I was working from home. She kept interrupting me while I was in online meetings by coming into my room and turning up the TV, on purpose, of course. One day, I was working on a prototype of a game during an online meeting, and she started to say, "Hey, you're not working, you're just playing!" Stop! I'm in the middle of a meeting! Even I can tell it's a video game. This is my job! I develop video games! Don't lie to me. Who is that man on the screen? Are you cheating on Steve? He's my boss! Are you having an affair with your boss? No! Exchanges like this weren't uncommon. I was on the verge of exploding. Around that time, the bar Steve worked in reopened as the government lockdown policy was lifted. He started to go into work 3 times a week. I knew it would be difficult to talk sensibly at home with Steve, as my mother-in-law would most definitely butt in. So I snuck out of my mother-in-law's home and went to see Steve at the bar. As I got there, Steve came out of the bar, but there was a woman with him. What?
Huh? Nancy!
Your wife? It was obvious that they were having an affair from the reaction. The girl quickly ran home after saying, "See ya." Where the heck do you think you're going?
Ah!
Even a woman like my mother-in-law can't tolerate cheating, I thought. So I dragged him back to my mother-in-law's house. I was very wrong to even think for a moment that my mother-in-law would side with me. He's a man, you know. As soon as I explained the situation, she started protecting her son. Are you serious? In the first place, why did you go to that bar at this time of night?
Yeah, she's right!
I went to see you, because I knew you were working during that time. Don't talk down to your husband. You said you were working, but I know you were just playing a video game at home. I told you that is my work. How can I believe anything you say? If you don't like me so much, why don't you get a divorce and leave my house? Then she gave me a divorce petition signed by my husband. The other girl is so much better suited for Steve than you. I didn't miss this opportunity. The other girl? Did you say the other girl? So you knew Steve was cheating on me, didn't you? She realized she made a mistake and looked away.
Why did you not tell me? Shut your mouth. I'm Steve's mother, so it's only natural to wish for my son's happiness.
That was the time I knew I just couldn't take it anymore. To hell with them. I understand. I will sign the divorce papers then. I got out my phone from my pocket, opened the official website of the bar Steve works for, and sent the photo of him and his lover getting cozy to the head office.
Wait, Nancy! What have you done?
I just sent them an email to your work saying that we're getting divorced because of this woman. That girl works part-time there, doesn't she? I remember her face from the last time I popped into the bar.
Stop being crazy! You need to tell him it was a joke!
Nope.
How could you? Do you have no gratitude for your own husband?
What can I be grateful for? He broke his promise about living with you, trying to make me do all the chores around the house, and in the meanwhile, he's cheating on me with his mother's blessing. So what I feel is not gratitude, but a burning desire for revenge. Got it?
You bitch!
Fine. And like a bitch, I will demand full compensation.
Compensation? Me? Not Mom? Why?
You're the one who needs to pay compensation, right?
What the heck are you talking about?
You neglected your duty as a wife, claiming to work, and that's why he started seeing another woman, so...
It was so ridiculous. I was momentarily lost for words. According to your logic, all the stay-at-home moms can cheat on their husbands as much as they like. Can you hear how stupid you sound?
How dare you!
Did you not hear? Stupid! Do you want me to spell it as well?
How could you ridicule me like that?
Oh, I'm not ridiculing you. Just stating a fact. It's a waste of time. I just snatched the divorce papers from my mother-in-law, packed my bags, and left with the sound of the two of them shouting and screaming. Luckily, I had my own money in my bank account, so I could afford to stay in a hotel. Luckily, the hotel prices were surprisingly cheap because of the COVID situation, so I decided to stay there for a while. When I called my work to tell them I needed to have some time off, my boss, who saw my mother-in-law coming into the office looking for me, gave me some time off without asking any questions. The next day, I filed the papers and went to an estate agent to find an apartment, ASAP. Of course, I hired a lawyer, too. I told him that I wanted a divorce and financial compensation for the emotional damage caused by my husband's affair. I plotted my revenge with my lawyer. He was excellent and sent my husband the legal papers demanding immediate compensation. As soon as Steve received the demand...
Drop it, please! I'm begging you!
Nope. I won't stop it till you pay me every cent that I'm demanding. You can borrow money from somewhere, can't you?
I got fired!
Oh dear, what a shame. Can't your mommy help you?
Mom doesn't have a lot of money. She's a pensioner.
So, what?
You're evil!
Say whatever you want.
Please! I'm begging you! Can't we start over?
Huh?
My mom can't support me with her pension!
Did you not just call me evil?
No! What I meant is that you're my savior!
What are you talking about, you moron? Live a life of regret with that hideous witch of a mother.
Nancy! Nancy!
I blocked all messages from the moron. I heard a rumor afterwards that the girl my ex had an affair with was very young. So very young that she shouldn't have been serving alcohol in the first place. That's why he got fired. He tried to find a new job but couldn't, partly because of the pandemic, because many bars and restaurants were not doing so well, and of course, because of the reason he got fired from his previous job. In the end, he borrowed money from dodgy loan sharks to pay me my compensation. He also got dumped by the girl as there was no way she could go out with a guy with no money. He now lives with his crazy mom living on her pension. My life? Well, I'm good. I met someone through work. He is not like my ex. He is pretty level-headed and nice. I'm determined to be happy this time.
My name is Miyuki Motoi. I'm 32 and a normal housewife. I want to talk about a strange incident I had with another mother. My family was an average, very typical family. We bought a house in a normal neighborhood and started living there as a family. My husband, Satoru, is the same age as I am, and our son, Wataru, is 6 years old and will be in elementary school next year. We've been living a very happy life with just the three of us. I have a grandfather who is sick at the moment. From Wataru, he's his great-grandfather. He just passed away this year at the age of 87. On the day of the funeral, there were a lot of people there, and it was a great funeral. When everything had settled, the lawyer of my grandfather came up to me. He read aloud the will he left, and it said to use his money for Wataru's education fees. Before he had passed, he played with Wataru a lot, so I think this was his way of giving back to him. He was not the richest person out there, but he had a lot of land, so we sold it off. And so, my husband and I had a conversation. It was about what to do with the inheritance. I was thinking about a lot of things, but I wanted to tell my husband one thing. I think college is important, but how about we put him in a private elementary school? I'm not a very educational mother, but I did think that Wataru should go to a private school. He did appear like a normal child, but I sensed something special in his mind. While young, he showed no interest in anime or manga, and instead loved to play with puzzles. He was even able to solve math problems his cousins gave him, even though my husband and I never taught him that. He reads books that are way beyond his age, and as for reading and writing, we didn't teach him that much, but he's learned so much. I was very happy that he was above and beyond for his age, but I knew he had a tough time making friends in preschool. I was worried that he may not fit in at a public elementary school. My husband had thought the same thing, so we decided to put Wataru into a private elementary school. We wanted to put Wataru in MoniRobo private school where he could continue to stay there until high school. It was the biggest school in the area, and Wataru was able to clear the writing exam no problem. And for the interview, my husband and I had to do our best as well, and we were more nervous than Wataru was. Thank God that was over. He was able to get accepted into the school, and Wataru was now a private elementary school student. On the first day, my husband saw the ceremony and left for work, while I stayed with Wataru and attended the parents' meeting.
How was the parent meeting? Is it over?
It just ended, and for some reason, I'm part of the PTA.
Is that where you guys make all the rules?
I guess you could say that.
Again? I thought those were really annoying.
I didn't want to either, but remember how Wataru got the highest writing score?
Yeah, I heard.
For some reason, everyone else knows too, and they all wanted me to do it.
So it means they pushed it onto you, huh?
I couldn't reject it. I kind of had to accept it.
Man, that must have sucked.
That wasn't the worst part.
There's more?
We had a little party afterwards, and there was a very strong mother there, the madam type.
Wow, to find a woman like that, huh?
She constantly tried to one-up me.
Seriously?
Right after I sat down, she asked me where my clothes were from.
What?
I told her the brand, a very normal brand too, and she said she knew about it but never wore it.
Wow, super rude. She must be lying, right?
The woman I met was Saiko Muroya, looked to be about 40 years old. She wore all the high fashion brands and knew she was rich. She was a part of the PTA as well, and she was very loud about her opinions. That itself wasn't the issue. Oh, are you wearing that fast fashion again? Is it because you've tried so hard to put your child in a private school you can't afford anything expensive? Just like that, she talks down on people and acts very rich. And she did this to only me. Her son was the same age as my son, and when I saw a picture of him, I knew he had eaten way too much good food. And one day, I was messaging my best friend from PTA, Akina Hosaka. Hey, did you hear about Miss Moroya's tea party? Yeah, a tea party. I'm thinking of going. She has these once in a while. I heard she does these to show off the new expensive things she has bought. That sounds like her. But are you okay? What do you mean? Miss Moroya is very adamant about harassing you, right? I think she's acting over the line, but... Oh, you think so too? Wait, is she not like that to other people too? She's like that just to you, I think. I see. I don't get it though. Is it because I'm just a normal person? This is just a rumor, but did you know that Miss Muroya's son was number 2? I didn't know that. Her son has a very good tutor as well. Been taught very well before the exams. I think Miss Muroya thought he'd be number 1 for sure. I get that my son was number 1, but it was just one exam, right? Isn't she overreacting? This may be a little rude, but I think it would have been fine if you and Miss Moroya were on the same page in regards to teaching their son. What do you mean? She's upset that she spent all that money and effort into her son only to lose to a mother who hasn't done much like her. And that's why she's looking down on me? That's what I think. And the day of the tea party, Miss Hosaka and I attended Miss Moroya's tea party. I heard the rumors, but the house was amazing. At first, we were just all chatting. Miss Moroya was the only weird one, so I was able to get along nicely with the other mothers. And the main character, Miss Moroya, arrived. Welcome to my tea party. Everything here is first class, so please, feel free to enjoy your stay. She was covered in heavy makeup and was wearing a bright pink dress. I thought it was strange looking, but wow, what a wonderful dress! You look amazing! No, it's just a cheap 200,000 yen dress. Everyone praised her, and she seemed to be having a great time. Then she rushed towards me and said, "The food today is something you can't regularly enjoy, right? If you want to take them home, there are boxes over there, so please tell me." How she has not changed. And so, I was able to take this for over a year. I'm as surprised as you are. And 5 years passed. My son became a 6th grader, and since PTA was only for the first year, I was able to run away from her. But because I couldn't refuse again, I had to join PTA this year, and there she was again. I'm so happy to be able to work with you again. Haha, thanks. I sensed it was gonna be a very long year. That night, I got a message from her. I'm having a tea party again soon. Would you like to join? Oh, thank you for the invite, of course. Oh, but wait, your family is in a little danger, right? I don't want to say it, but for money reasons, right? No, where did you hear that? Oh, you don't need to be angry. I heard your son is not attending the middle school. I heard the rumors. Yes, that's true. He has the highest grades but isn't attending the middle school. That must be a money reason, right? It was rude of me to invite you in such a hard time. You don't have to attend if it's a bad time for you, okay? No, it's really fine. But aren't you down right now? It's to show you around my beautiful house at this time. Will that not be troubling for you? Because I have never had a money problem. Yep. But how sad for you and your son to not be able to afford an education. But I think Wataru will do great in a public school. Oh, thank you. And will you attend? You really don't have to. I'll go. Do you need the boxes to go too? I'm fine, thank you. And so I attended her tea party. What a wonderful house. And as for Miss Moroya, she has not changed a bit. Welcome to my tea party. Everything here is first class, so please, feel free to enjoy your stay. She said her usual greeting with her heavy makeup and dress. She then came straight towards me. Thanks for coming. It's a wonderful house, ma'am. She looked so excited to be able to one-up me. And she started to talk in a very loud voice so everyone could hear. But are you really okay? You said yourself you're struggling economically, right? Well, I didn't say anything about that, and so I was too tired to fight back. Yeah, I'm just a normal person. Tough times, I guess. Thanks for the concern. I tried to end the conversation, and just then, Miss Hosaka came in late. Sorry I'm late! Hey, Miss Motoi! I heard the news! That's amazing! She came straight to me with a copy of the area's newspaper. I heard the story about your son! This is amazing! I've never heard anything like it! She seemed very excited, showing me the paper. Yeah, it's not a big deal. It was very awkward, so I wanted to change the subject. Your son in the papers? About what? Miss Moroya chimed in and took the paper from her hands. She began to read the story with the other mothers, and her face changed expressions. What is this? I thought you quit the middle school for economic reasons. I gave up and told them the truth. Wataru continued to study in school, and his IQ was above 170. He was a genius. And so, he was a part of a club that was full of kids with high IQs. I attended this club as a mother of a genius, and this group helped me out a lot. In this group, a friend told me that there was a system of skipping grades abroad, where Wataru would be able to challenge himself even more. Everyone in the elementary school was smart, yes, but Wataru was on another level. And so he was a bit of an outcast. So I wanted to change his school so he could fit in more. I told him about this challenge and he seemed very excited as well. And because he tried so hard, he got accepted into a school with a full scholarship as well. I'm surprised as well, but he is going to be a student at a college abroad. And a new writer in the area heard about him, and he did an interview. I only told Miss Hosaka about this, and this was what had happened in the end. She realized what had just happened and said, "Wait, did you keep this a secret? I'm so very sorry." "It's okay, I wasn't hiding it, it's fine. I didn't want to brag or anything, so I didn't really tell a lot of people. This was the truth, but Miss Muroya looked furious because it looked like I had just made fun of her. There was small laughter happening around the room as well." "If that was the case, why didn't you say so? Did you want me to feel bad for you by lying?" I said I never said that. If this was going to happen, I should have told her in the first place, huh? But this isn't. She began to push her son even harder and began to take away his sleep as well. Her son was definitely smart, but it was nothing compared to the genius level of Wataru. Maybe he couldn't take all the pressure. Her son became a thug in middle school, and her family was apparently ruined because of that.
I'm Tsukumo Nanjo. I turned 25 this year. I worked as a salesman at a tech firm. Work was hard, but it was also fun. I always like talking to people, so what do you want to do today, Haruka?
I know. Let's go see a movie. We haven't done that in a while.
I was a pretty honest guy. Sometimes people said I was too honest for my own good, but I don't know. If it wasn't for my honesty, I never would have met my girlfriend. Oh, Mr. Nanjo, you're so honest. But why tell me all this? You're a salesman, aren't you? You're right, Mr. Yukawa. I'm not that good of a salesman. But for me, the most important thing is trust. Is that why you told me the disadvantages of your product first? Yes. There's no such thing as a perfect product, so I always talk about the disadvantages as well. And some customers still choose to buy our products. I just think that's a better way of doing business, you know? It all comes down to trust. Trust is the most important thing, both for us and for our customers. I see. I like your style. These days, all everyone cares about are numbers, so... Alright, I've heard enough. I'll sign with you. I trust you. But if anything goes wrong, you'll be there to help, right? Of course, sir. Thank you. So this is how I met my girlfriend, Haruka. See, Mr. Yukawa was her father. Thanks for coming, Mr. Nanjo. Thanks for inviting me. What did you want to talk to me about? Oh, right! I just wanted to tell you that your product is doing really well. Ever since we installed your software, productivity has doubled. And you're always there for us. I'm really glad I signed with you. And I was thinking about ordering more software for one of our subsidiaries. Really? Oh, thank you! No, thank you! Your product is a lifesaver. I'll send over the documents later. Can you send me a quote by next week? Of course! Thank you, sir. Don't mention it. And there's actually one more thing. It's not really work-related, but... Oh, okay. Loosen up! You're so tense! Mr. Nanjo, I like you. You're a good man. And I wanted to introduce you to my family. Family? Yes, and they all work for me, so you might run into them. So that's how I met his son and daughter, Ryoma and Haruka. Ryoma was a managing director and Haruka was a secretary. I started spending a lot of time with Haruka for work. We became very close and soon, we started dating. After we started dating, the Nanjos and Yukawas became very close. But then...
All right, see you next week, Tsukumo.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Get home safe, okay?
Thanks.
After I walked her home, I headed back home. But then someone called my name from behind. Tsukumo! Who was that? I recognized that voice. I turned around. It was him. Great. Just great. Hello, Tenjo. How are you? Shut up! Answer my question. Who was that? Don't tell me you got a girlfriend now. Actually, she's... Is that a problem? Yes. How come you got a girlfriend and not me? Your family is dirt poor, but my family is loaded. It doesn't add up. Here we go again. He's so annoying. His name was Kotaro Tenjo. He was so annoying. He hasn't changed a bit. Hey, get out of my way! My family is rich. Do as I say! I've known him since we were kids. He was always bragging about how rich his parents were. It was really annoying. We went to different high schools, so I didn't have to worry about him for a while. But when I was a senior, I was dating this girl named Natsumi. Then Kotaro saw me with her. Tsukumo! Who the hell is that? Tenjo. Hey, long time no see. Answer my question. Who is that? Don't tell me she's your girlfriend. Actually, she is. Seriously? You better be joking. Huh? What do you mean? You know what I mean. Listen, you're a nobody. You don't get to have girlfriends. You're gonna pay for this. He was a dick. Naturally, all the girls hated him. He never had a girlfriend in his life, so he was probably jealous. Then he started harassing the company Natsumi's father worked at, using his parents' connections and money. Then...
Tsukumo, I'm sorry. We gotta break up.
What? Why? What's going on?
My dad. If we keep dating, he's gonna end up getting fired. I'm really sorry.
What the hell? Why is he doing this? He forced her to break up with me. But even after that, he kept coming after me. Look, I get you're upset, but can you just stop this? We're adults now, man. Come on. Harassing me isn't gonna help you get a girlfriend. What did you say to me? You got some balls, I'll give you that. Dude, just stop. Being a jerk isn't gonna do you any good. Just drop it. Oh, you wanna play it like that? Fine. You're gonna regret this. Then he ran off. He was probably gonna do something again. Oh boy. Haruka, is everything okay at work? Did something strange happen recently?
Oh, I don't know. Oh, the other day someone tried to buy our stocks. Lots of it.
Seriously? Is everything okay?
It's fine. Our company is huge, so a single investor can't just buy us out like that. No worries.
Okay, good to hear.
Yeah, and this person didn't even buy the stocks. He tried. When he realized he didn't have enough money to buy us out, he just left.
Oh, good. Thank goodness.
Why are you asking me this? You know something about this?
Yeah, I think it was my childhood friend, Tenjo. He's always had it out for me. Every time he sees me with a girl, he tries all kinds of stuff to get back at me.
Oh, that sounds pathetic. What a jerk.
Yeah, he's a loser, but he's really stubborn, so just be careful, okay?
Okay, thanks for the heads up, Tsukumo.
I guess there was no real damage done. Phew. But then, when I got home and parked my car, he was standing in front of my front door. Wait, was he waiting for me? He just doesn't give up. You're home! Finally! Took you long enough. You know how long I've been waiting? How was I supposed to know that you'd be here? What do you want, man? Shut up! You know why I'm here. I looked into your girlfriend. How did you meet her? Her family is loaded. It doesn't make sense. It's a long story. Look, can you just leave? I gotta wake up early tomorrow. Can you just stop? Please? What? Shut up! How dare you talk to me like that? I'm loaded. I'm not like you, idiot. I'll get you somehow. There's always a way. You just watch. Then he ran off. Oh man, he just doesn't give up. See ya. Whoa, what the? Why would anyone do this? A few days later, I walked out of my house to head to work, but then I saw something unbelievable. My car, it was ruined. My tires were all slashed. It was terrible. I called the towing company and asked them to take it to the repair shop. For a few days, I had to live without a car. About a week later, the car came back from the shop. But then a few days later, it happened again. When I woke up, my car was ruined. I had to send it back to the shop again.
Wow, I'm really sorry to hear that, Tsukumo. Who would do this, though?
I got no proof, but I'm pretty sure it was Kotaro Tenjo. He said he was gonna get me back, so...
What the hell is wrong with this guy? Ugh. What are you gonna do, though? This was the second time, right?
Yeah. I'm thinking about getting a new parking space, far away from home.
I see. But I don't think he'll give up that easily. If your car is gone, he might try and come after something else.
Yeah, I know. I have no idea what to do. Tsukumo! I didn't know you were here! Hey! Ah, hello, sir. No need to call me that. What were you guys talking about? It sounded serious. You two getting married or something?
What? No, we just started dating. Stop teasing.
Sorry. But seriously, what's wrong? Anything I can help you with? Marriage? I wasn't even thinking about that. Oh, someone's been coming after my car recently. It happened twice already. Oh, sorry to hear that. You got any idea who did it? Yeah, but I got no proof. And if I leave the car at my house, he'll just keep coming back, so I don't know what to do. I see. But if your car isn't there, he might come after something else. Yeah, I'm running out of ideas. I see. I got an idea! Really? Yeah, leave it to me. I'll take care of it. In the meantime, use my car. Here, take the keys. What? But what about you? Don't you need your car? No worries. I got this. Okay, thank you. So I got in his car and drove home. When I got home, I saw a bunch of contractors doing something to my garage. It looked like they were putting up some kind of lights around the driveway. I guess Ryoma sent them over. Whatever, I trust him. I went inside and went to bed. The next morning... Oh no, Ryoma's car's ruined! What am I gonna do? Morning, Tsukumo! Hey, wait, why are you here? I wanted to see the car myself. Man, what a mess! Alright then, let's go catch this guy. Huh? What do you mean? See these lights? They're actually cameras. Now we got proof. Let's go check out the video. So we went back and checked the video. The camera caught everything on tape. It was Kotaro and some goons he hired. Then Ryoma made some calls. Hello? It's me, Yukawa. Mr. Yukawa, hello! How can I help you? Well, I let my friend use my car the other night, but some guys showed up at night and destroyed it. As it turns out, one of them is your son. What? My son? You should? Yes, I got it all on tape. I could go to the police with this, but I don't think you'd like that, Mr. Tenjo. So, how do you want to play this? Then Mr. Tenjo came to see me and paid me back for everything. But that wasn't all. What have you done, you idiot? I almost lost my business because of you! Dad, it's not like that! I did nothing wrong! He framed me! Shut up! You're an embarrassment to the family! Get out! Get the hell out! What? No! Dad, please! No! Kotaro got kicked out of the house. He was done for. I heard he was living out on the streets now. But then, he went streaking in downtown for some reason and got arrested. Looks like he's screwed. After the incident, I started spending more time with Haruka's family. And Haruka and I were getting married soon. Her dad was super excited about this. He even asked me to join his company. So yeah, Kotaro caused me a lot of trouble, but whatever. I'm just glad everything worked out.
My name is Masai Ariki, and I'm a 25 years old office worker. In today's video, I'm going to share with you a startling incident that happened within my family. For most of my life, I grew up without a father figure and spent my days with my younger sister, Sugumi, and our single mom, Hiroyo. We were close when I was young, but the dynamic of our family changed drastically when I was around 10 years old. Long story short, it became more apparent as time went on that my sister was much better looking than me. Things didn't change as more time went on. And that led to this happening when we were both in high school.
Hey, did you tell people at school that we were related?
I haven't told anyone yet.
Then how could people in my class know about it?
I don't know. Besides, I don't know anyone in your grade.
Who else would it come from? I'm already embarrassed about having an introvert as my older sister. I don't need the people in my class to be making fun of me for it.
I don't know what to tell you. It wasn't me. The teachers probably know about it, so it was probably them.
Huh, maybe you're right. Now that I think about it, there's no way people wouldn't listen to what you have to say in the first place.
Yep.
Anyways, just don't tell anyone about us, alright? I doubt anyone would believe you even if you did, but still.
You're right.
I wonder how we grew up to be so different, don't you? Sucks to be you, I guess.
Sugumi was pretty, friendly, and charismatic. She was the queen bee of her high school. I, on the other hand, was chubby, introverted, and not that good looking. Everyone knew that I had close to no friends. But it wasn't just looks that made us different. Our mother treated us in completely different ways, which never worked out in my favor. When are you coming home tonight? I'm thinking of going back now since my club meeting just ended. Tough to break it to you, but could you maybe come back in about 3 hours' time? But why? Sugumi is having her friends over tonight, and apparently they're going to be eating dinner at our place. And you know how she doesn't want them to know that you two are related, right? I'll try to avoid the living room then. But what if they end up seeing you on accident? What am I supposed to do for 3 hours, though? I don't know. You figured that out yourself. Anyway, I'll text you when her friends go home. So until then, don't come back, okay? Fine. And just like that, I always got the short end of the stick. That night, I was only allowed back in 5 hours after I got the initial text from Mom. Basically, Mom played favorites every chance she got. And that was one of the reasons I chose to go to a college far away from our home. I left the house immediately after I graduated high school. Fortunately, I got grades good enough to land a merit-based scholarship, so I was able to pay my bills by just working part-time. I barely touched base with my family during my days in college, and they too never reached out, as if they had forgotten that I existed entirely. But things changed shortly after I graduated college and got a job. My sister texted me for the first time in what seemed like forever, and told me this.
Hey, long time no see. How you been?
I've been fine, thanks. How are you?
I'm actually getting married soon.
Married? Aren't you still in college?
Yeah, but my fiancé said he couldn't wait. So we're having a wedding as soon as I graduate.
Well, I'm happy for you. Congratulations.
Anyway, I want you to be there on my big day.
Me? At your wedding?
What are you so surprised about?
Aren't you embarrassed about me being your sister?
Well, yeah, but my fiancé, he's the son of a big-time CEO and he's pretty rich.
Yeah, but what does that have to do with anything?
Well, he says it won't reflect well on him if I don't invite you.
Oh, that makes sense.
Here, I'll send you a picture of him.
He's good looking.
Right? His name is Kenta Nagano, but he's already CEO of one of his dad's companies, and he's only 30.
That's impressive.
That's it? Look, I know you're jealous because you'll never get a man like him, but...
I'm glad to see that you haven't changed one bit.
Anyway, about the wedding.
I never said I would go. And just like that, I declined her invitation to their wedding. My sister and my mom barraged me angry messages and voicemails for a while, but I'm already on my own 2 feet. I don't need to listen to their ridiculous demands anymore. Anyway, they eventually gave up and stopped texting me for a while after that. We were basically back to what it used to be like between us, but exactly a year later, I got a text from my cousin, Narumi. It's been a while since we talked, Mase. Too long, how you been? Right now, not too good. Why? Did something happen? My dad passed away yesterday. Your dad? Why? What happened? He had terminal cancer. He fought like hell, but unfortunately, cancer came out on top. I'm sorry to hear that. Anyways, I texted you to tell you about the funeral. I wouldn't miss it for the world. Obviously, you're welcome to attend, but I just have to let you know that your mom and sister are coming as well. I'm sure they are. I heard things haven't been going too well between you guys. Is everything going to be alright? I'd rather not see them, but your dad was always good to me. Thanks. Feel free to stay over at my place if you want. And so I decided to go back home for the first time since graduating high school. I told Narumi that everything would be alright, but it wasn't. I really didn't want to see my family. Immediately after Narumi texted me, I got a message from my mom as well.
Did you hear about Narumi's dad?
I did.
Are you planning on going to the funeral?
I am, but don't worry. I won't stay over at your place. I'm gonna ask Narumi to let me stay for the night.
Sure. By the way, how are things for you?
It's been fine. You're not sick or anything, are you? No. Why? You're my daughter. Of course I worry about you. That's so out of character. Really, why are you asking that? Nothing's up. And with that, a rather strange conversation ended. The next day, I made my way to the funeral home. There, I saw my mom, my sister, and who I assumed was my sister's husband, so I said hi to them. But as soon as they saw me, they gasped in disbelief. "You're Mase?"
I don't believe it!
I don't blame them for being so shocked. To tell you the truth, I was no longer the person that I was in high school. After being freed from all the stress my family gave me, I lost a lot of weight. After getting a job, I grew more confident of myself as I made progress at work. I don't mean to brag, but I had a lot of guys be into me. Meanwhile, Sugumi changed as well, just not in the way I did. She tries to hide it with her expensive clothes, but I'm sure she's gained about 20 kilograms since she was in high school. It's obvious she's been eating and doing whatever she wants for the past few years. Her acne got worse because of her terrible diet, and she bared no resemblance to herself when she was the queen bee of high school. I only met Kenta for the first time that day, but I could easily tell that their relationship was in shambles. It was obvious that Kenta had lost interest in Sugumi. But the funeral ended without much trouble, and I stayed over at Narumi's house for the night. But after I got home, I got a text from someone I never thought I would talk to again.
Hello. This is Kenta. I'm sorry about the other day. I didn't get enough time to introduce myself properly.
You're Sugumi's husband, right?
Yes, it was a pleasure meeting you the other day.
Same here, but how'd you get my number?
I actually got it from your mother. I hope that was okay.
That's fine, but is there something I can do for you?
I need to talk to you about something. So can we probably meet up for lunch sometime?
With you and Sugumi?
I'd actually prefer if we met without Sugumi. I actually wanted to talk to you about her.
I don't know what this is going to be about, but I don't think I'm the best person to ask for advice.
Why?
You may already know this, but I don't get along with my sister that well. So I have no idea what she's been up to recently.
In all honesty, I don't want any advice. I just want to go to lunch with you.
What?
I thought you were just so gorgeous when we met. So I wanted to get to know you better, not as my sister-in-law, but as a woman I'm interested in.
Last I checked, you were married to my sister.
I hate to admit this, but things haven't gone too well between us recently. I don't think a divorce is too far away.
Oh, is that so? And so you immediately go for your own wife's sister?
Yes, I think I'm already in love with you.
I don't know what to say, but I'm sorry. I can't go on a date with you. Asking your wife's sister on a date? Are you out of your mind? He lacks so much common sense that he gave me the creeps. It wasn't surprising that they were about to get a divorce, but asking her sister out for a date? That was out of the question. He wouldn't take the hint and kept on texting me over and over again, so one day I finally blocked him. I thought everything was settled until I got this message from my sister.
What have you done?
What are you talking about?
You seduced Kenta, didn't you? No use lying to me.
Oh, so he finally dumped you.
See? It was all because of you.
What kind of logic is that? He did ask me out, but I said no and blocked him afterwards.
Stop lying to me. There's no other reason he'd leave me.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, so what do you think the reason is?
Just take a good look at yourself in the mirror. It's obvious why he left you. I mean, the fact that your husband only cared about looks is disgusting as well, but if you look like that and act the way that you do, it's not hard to imagine why your marriage fell apart. My sister wasn't convinced and kept on yelling at me, telling me this and that, so I blocked her as well. I should have done that a long time ago. But then I got a message from my mom. Please, can you try going on a date with Kenta? What? I thought you were gonna yell at me about me blocking Sugumi, but I did not expect you to say that. Right now, I'm living in one of the apartments that Kenta owns. But if Sugumi gets a divorce, I'm gonna have to leave this place. Just rent a different apartment or something. Are you kidding? I've already quit my job, and I'm not healthy enough to pack all my bags and move to another place. And Sugumi, if she doesn't lose some weight, who knows when she'll find her next husband, or if she does at all. And she's too selfish to even get a job. But if you marry Kenta, everything works out. Do you hear what you're saying right now? No. Then just help me out with finding a new place, would you? By that, do you mean pay for your new room? Yep, we're family, right? We've got to help each other out. Huh, Everything makes sense now. You were acting all nice and everything to me earlier because you knew this would happen and wanted my money. Shame on you! Never ever come near me again. And with that, I blocked my mother as well. I should have done this way earlier as well. Later on, I heard from Narumi that the two were kicked out of their luxurious condos after Sugumi got a divorce. And because of a marriage contract that the two had signed prior, Sugumi couldn't sue her ex-husband for any damages. Apparently, she's nearly broke now. She lives with mom now in a broken-down apartment, trying to make ends meet by working part-time at a local supermarket. Honestly, I'm too mad at them that I can't care any less about how hard of a time they're going through right now.
My name is Kengo Yajima. I'm 23 years old, and it's been a year since I started working. Today, I'd like to share a story about a very irritating colleague I had. I've always been shy and timid since I was little. My only strength was hard working. My personality didn't change much in university. I studied hard without enjoying my university life. Because of my hard work, I got hired by a large IT company right after graduation. I began working in the sales department. There was another newbie in the department besides me. I'm Yujiro Kakagawa. Nice to meet you. Kengo Yajima. Nice to meet you too. Back then, I had no idea this guy would ruin my career. There was nothing unusual about Yujiro. He dressed his age and was always stylish, but not flashy. He has a personality that is the polar opposite of me. Let's go grab a drink, senior. You mean treat me to drinks, right? Yujiro was elegant and always knew how to joke around with even the senior employees. Because of his silver tongue and outgoing personality, he quickly adapted to the environment. Senior employees and our boss all liked him. However, on the other hand, you're Yujima, right? Could you please prepare the documents for the next meeting? Sure, I'll do it now. It felt like there was a wall between my colleagues and me. I was envious of how outgoing Yujiro was. I know it's impossible, but I wish I could become like him one day. But here came the problem. Our boss assigned a project to Yujiro and me. On the day of the project submission, I asked Yujiro if he was done. Oh, sorry, I totally forgot about it. I didn't do it, he said. As a result, our boss scolded both of us. Even though I finished my part, I also had to take responsibility because it was supposed to be teamwork. Since then, Yujiro has pushed me around and made me do extra work for him. Sometimes, he'd intentionally not give me the memos he got from our boss. I got in a lot of trouble because of him. Yujiro kept saying that he had forgotten, but I knew he was doing it on purpose. Then, the worst happened. One day, I was on the train home from work. My boss, Mr. Oyama, called me. I didn't pick up and sent him a message right away. Sorry, I can't pick up the phone now. I'm on the train. What did you want to talk to me about? Are you kidding me? You really messed up this time! Sorry, I have no idea what you're referring to. Excuse me? Are you serious? I'm sorry, but I really don't know what this is about. Did I do something wrong? It's about MoniRobo Company! I said there was a meeting this afternoon and that you must attend, right? Yes, it was to introduce our products. I was tied up with other work, so I asked you to go instead of me, right? Yes, but... Stop making excuses! Yujiro asked to go to the meeting. What? He asked me if he could go instead of me because he wanted to gain more experience. I finished calling Yujiro. He said he didn't know anything about the meeting. Can't be. Yujiro said he would call you to let you know about it too. He had no idea about this. He said you must have misunderstood something. That's not true. He did ask me. I heard you had a habit of lying whenever you make a mistake. Is that right? No, I don't have a habit like that. Did Yujiro tell you that? Anyways, come back to the office now. You need to go to MoniRobo Company right away and apologize. Okay, I'll come back now. I didn't know what happened, but I rushed back to the company anyway. Then I went to MoniRobo Company and apologized to them repeatedly. Then I went back to my company and got scolded by my boss. I ended up taking the last train and arrived home exhausted. The following day, I couldn't let yesterday's incident slide, so I went to confront Yujiro. What the hell happened yesterday? You said you wanted to go to the meeting. Not only did you not go to the meeting, but you also lied to the manager, saying that you didn't ask me to let you go to the meeting. I questioned him angrily, but he smirked as usual in reply. I don't recall asking you that. Can you prove that I said I wanted to go? He didn't take me seriously at all. I was trembling with anger and furious with his ridiculous attitude. But I couldn't argue with him because I had no evidence to prove it. He even went to our boss and said, Mr. Oyama, have you decided on the apology gift for yesterday's company? No, I'm still thinking about what to bring. Yujiro took out his phone and said, I thought so. I ordered a cake from a famous patissier. I'll go pick it up now if you think that's okay. After hearing that, our boss said, You might be goofy, Yujiro, but you're brilliant. Good job. I'll treat you to dinner tonight. He praised Yujiro. I couldn't believe Mr. Oyama praised Yujiro while I was being blamed for everything. There was nothing I could do to change that. I wanted to talk to Yujiro about it, so I messaged him after work. What have I done to you? Stop being so annoying. I told you I didn't know. You misunderstood it. How? You asked me explicitly. But it's pointless to argue about it now. What do you want then? Why do you keep making trouble for me when we were preparing documents last time? It's hilarious how overly self-conscious you are. You can't say it was all coincidental at this point. In fact, you seem to get things done just fine when you were not working with me. Why do you only make mistakes when I'm involved? Well, I didn't make mistakes on purpose. Plus, is it so bad if I did? Of course, that's terrible. Aren't we rivals, though? Rivals? What do you mean? For promotion. I want to get promoted and participate in bigger projects as soon as possible. You can do that if you work hard. Well, I care more about the result. But there's a much faster way for me to get promoted. What faster way? Hypothetically, if I have a colleague about the same age as me, doesn't it make me look better if my colleague is not good at what he does? That's why you've been causing trouble for me? I said hypothetically, okay? Don't get serious. So that's the reason he's been trying to hold me back. Why can't he just work hard and get the results he wants? Good thing is that now I know that I've underestimated his shadiness. After that, people close to Yujiro started to act weird in front of me. In addition to that, I even started to feel that they were staring at me and whispering about me. I was bewildered. Then I overheard a conversation between a senior employee and Yujiro in the break room. Are you serious? Yeah. One of my classmates from university knows Kengo. The story Yujiro told was ridiculous. He was spreading rumors about me, saying I had a criminal record. Voyeurism and stalking, to be specific. Of course, it was not true. I wanted to correct him. Because I was still new, I didn't have credibility among my colleagues. The rumors spread quickly. I knew complaining to Yujiro at this point would not change anything. It became very uncomfortable for me to go to work. It felt so painful just being there. In hindsight, I should have sued Yujiro for defamation. But I didn't have enough energy to do so. I ended up leaving the company after a few months. Did you really submit your resignation letter? Yeah. Seriously? It was so difficult to get a job at such a big company. You're stupid to quit after only a few months. Isn't this what you wanted? I'm quitting anyway, so can you be honest for once? Fine, I admit I tried to destroy your reputation before. But I didn't know you'd quit so soon. You'd be much more helpful in improving my reputation if you stayed longer. Sorry I won't be able to fulfill your wish. Nah, it's okay. I was wrong about you. I thought you had the guts to fight back a little. Finally, I'm talking to the real Yujiro. But there's nothing I can do about you now. The real question is, what are you going to do now? What do you care? Don't be so harsh. I'm worried about you. How do you tell a lie so effortlessly? I should learn from you. Well, no matter how good you are at studying, you'll realize that you can't use most of the knowledge in the real world. It's all about communication skills in the end. You shouldn't have to go through so much trouble if you simply worked hard. That's stupid. Why do I have to break a sweat if I can do it more efficiently? Smart people always find the shortest route and follow it without hesitation. Like causing trouble for your colleagues? Yeah, something like that. Thanks to your poor work performance, Mr. Oyama now has high hopes for me. Cool. Hope to never see you again. Yeah, good luck. I was so frustrated that I started crying. I couldn't fight back when Yujiro humiliated me in front of the whole company. Life was tough after quitting my job. I gained weight due to binge eating and drinking. But I knew I couldn't stay sad forever, so I started to look for a new job. I was a new graduate and quit my previous job after a few months, so I didn't make a good impression at job interviews. I was struggling to secure a job offer. Then I had an interview at this company and explained the reason for my resignation.
That must have been very hard for you. Don't let it bring you down.
One of the interviewers was very kind to me. She gave me a job offer right after. On my first day at the new company, "Hi, my name is Kengo Yajima. This is my first day, and I look forward to working with you all." I was so nervous that I stuttered when introducing myself. I was also worried about meeting new colleagues because of what happened at my previous company. But 6 months had passed. All my nervousness and anxiety vanished, and I did well at work. My colleagues were all very friendly and willing to teach me. I was surprised by how easy it was for an unsociable person like me to adapt to a new environment. My boss also entrusted me with more challenging work than my previous job. I love my job wholeheartedly. I wasn't hired during the hiring season, but my salary was not less than my previous one. My new company also had far better benefits than the last one. Everyone says it's all thanks to the company's chief operating officer, Miss Nanako Kasuga. She's the one who maintains such a positive working environment. And she's the interviewer who was very kind to me in my job interview. I was surprised when I found out she was actually the COO. Miss Kasuga is a career woman in her early 30s. She made remarkable achievements and got promoted the fastest in the company. 3 years had passed since I joined the company. I'm still working diligently under Miss Kasuga. One day, Miss Kasuga told me about an upcoming project.
I'm working on a new project and need extra hands. I'd love to have you on board.
Miss Kasuga told me an important business deal was coming up, and the big boss had high hopes for it. The counterparty was the company I used to work for. Of course, I was grateful to participate in the project and had no reason to refuse. But I somehow had a bad feeling that something might happen. And my premonition often comes true. What? Kengo? It's been a while. Yujiro and my former boss were both at the business meeting. I didn't expect to see you again at a business meeting. Such a small world. Yeah, unfortunately. Hey, don't be so cold. We used to work hard together after all. Work hard together? Anyways, why did you message me? Oh yeah, what do you think about the terms? Well, I don't know if we could meet your expectation. It's up to Miss Kasuga. So, do you think you could convince her to meet our request? What do you mean? It's a pretty big deal, right? Mr. Oyama and I must prevent it from going sideways at all costs. Right. So I'm asking you to tilt the deal in our favor. I can't do that. I'm just an assistant. I'm just asking you to push the deal a little. Well, you're probably too incompetent to do that anyway. I won't help you even if I could. Have you forgotten what you did? Are you still holding grudges against me? Not really. It's just, I simply don't want to help you. Did you tell your boss that we didn't get along? No. I don't mix business with personal feeling. Yeah, that's what I thought. You're as hardworking as ever. You deserve a round of applause. I know you're mocking me again. A few days later, we had another business meeting to negotiate the deal. Yujiro said to Miss Kasuga, "Wow, I didn't expect you to be so young, Miss Kasuga. I heard you're the youngest chief operating officer in your company. That's so impressive." This type of flattery must be Yujiro's usual trick. He continued, "You're not only beautiful, but exemplary at work. I get nervous talking to you." He's always been a master of ass-kissing and flattery. Miss Kasuga kept a straight face and said,
Thank you very much. You flatter me. I'd expect nothing less from a salesperson.
Then she walked past Yujiro. Yujiro was obviously not happy with her response. I bet it's hard to work with a subordinate like Kengo, isn't it? He's the kind of employee who quits after a few months. Yujiro started to target me. Mr. Oyama, who was standing next to him, added, Yeah, he quit before he became useful to the company. We wasted too much effort and money trying to teach this guy. Our company should have asked him to pay it back. I didn't know why Mr. Oyama decided to join Yujiro. Maybe they were just trying to tease me, but what they said hurt me a lot. It reminded me of the worst days of my life. Miss Kasuga glared at them, smiled, and said,
Yeah, I'm calling off the deal. Let's forget about it.
Her explosive announcement shocked everyone in the meeting room, including me. None of us could process what had just happened. Miss Kasuga continued at her own pace.
First of all, Mr. Yajima is a valuable member of our team. Maybe you want to think twice before insulting him. Secondly, no matter how much you think you know Mr. Yajima from his previous job, we're here today for business. Since you decided to act unprofessionally during our meeting, I have no choice but to reconsider our cooperation. Let me make this clear. I really don't appreciate you openly insulting my colleague like that.
Yujiro and Mr. Oyama panicked and desperately tried to salvage the situation. Wait, this deal is also important for your company, right? That's right! You can't just call it off that easily! Both sides will lose money! Mr. Oyama did have a point.
Actually, I have received offers from other companies. So I'm going to make deals with them instead. You don't have to worry about us. By the way, I'll make a complaint about your behavior to your boss.
Miss Kasuga is as good as I expected. Then we left the meeting, leaving Yujiro and Mr. Oyama staggered. I couldn't thank Miss Kasuga enough. Later, I heard Yujiro and Mr. Oyama were scolded by their boss. They were held responsible for the deal falling apart. They were both transferred to the countryside due to their poor performance at work. Technically, they were abandoned. They'll probably never be promoted again. Miss Kasuga and I became close and started dating, and we got married in the end. But that's a story for another time. Framing people for personal gain is never a good idea. Now I'm more certain that the things we do to others will always come back to us.